All right, everybody. So I think that we are going to get started. I'm hoping everybody is ready. If you're not, keep eating your food. Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready, as they say. So I know Tiny's ready. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Maestro Stevens. I want to thank BDPA. I want to thank Midtown Tech High. Thank the universe, up high. I just want to thank everybody who has gave this an opportunity that we needed, in order for us to be here. Because somebody wasn't promised today, and I always believe that we need to be grateful for that. I'm not trying to be all down and melancholy. Trust me, it's going to pick up, y'all. But just keeping it all the way real that, oftentimes I don't think that we are appreciative enough. And that just goes with the whole concept of creating AI, using AI, custom chatbots, all that stuff. It's really all about your creativity. If you show appreciation for the AI, for the technology, in this weird, funky, technical way, it's going to show appreciation for you. Because trust me, it will talk back to you. It may not cuss you out, but it's going to give you some things that will indicate you're doing something wrong. Or you can help it out.
Well, we appreciate you as well.
Thank you. So, if you're still here, again, I'm just giving you guys a fair due. We are in the custom AI chatbots workshop. All right? Okay, just making sure we all know that. So I'm gonna do a little back and forth between the two because I like to stand up, talk while I'm presenting. At the same time, you see that I'm working with a little short cord here, so I only got so much room to maneuver. It's kind of like that little dog or little kid where you gotta put him on a little cord leash. Get your stuff over here. You just gotta work it with a short cord. So again, thank you BDPA, thank you Craig, thank you Tani. I know Sandy, I know Ken's here, everybody else that is with BDPA. I want to thank you all as well too. So quick blurb about me, then we're gonna get straight to the meat and potatoes thing. So I like to just get right to the meat and potatoes, serve you up that good cooking like we in Thanksgiving dinner. Matter of fact, next month will be Thanksgiving. So I'm an international speaker, webmaster, and owner of the creative agency, The Iconic Expressions. I have 10 years of marketing systems and strategic consulting, brand strategy, and web development experience. So about a decade or so. I enjoy using technology and strategies to excel in life, cooking, learning, networking, traveling, and parenthood as well, because if you guys don't understand that AI can help you rear some children, you're gonna learn today, in the words of Kevin Hart. In 2022, I developed a platform called Iconic Templates, which focuses on creating free and premium resources for WordPress users and content creators. So a lot of that is my main focus. I spoke in Taiwan, I spoke in Athens, Greece the past 2 years, so that's why I show those pictures, because for me, that was a dream come true. It's also a great opportunity to learn other cultures, see other places, learn the lay of the land. Pun intended, no pun intended. Land, Cleveland. See, y'all gonna wake up as we go, trust me. I'm warming up right now. It always comes with a warm-up, So for the agenda, we are going to keep it short, we're gonna keep it sweet, we're gonna keep it simple, unlike human beings. None of us are short, sweet, and simple, except for the ones that are a little shorter, but I mean metaphorically. We're gonna talk about chatbot personalization, knowledge base. Then we're gonna get into visual and interactive experiences. After that, we're gonna get into the platforms, pros and cons, and even some final thoughts from myself and final thoughts from you all based on what we talked about today. So we will get a little bit of interactive. For the most part, my goal is to really give you guys the concepts and strategies. That's first and foremost for anything. I believe the first 2 sessions really gave you all I was gonna say lay of the land again, but I'm not gonna repeat myself. So it gave you all like the fundamentals, gave you all some ideas, gave you all some strategic thinking and ways when it came to prompting. We're gonna use a little bit of that, get a little groovy with it, kind of like Stella when she got her groove back. We're gonna get a little groovy with it. Then we're gonna make things happen when it comes to just giving you guys some new perspectives. I also want you all to test this information yourself as well. And I'm gonna give you some examples. You guys can use your own examples, but it's up to you. I want you to gain confidence and be creative. That's a huge thing that's gonna be big on today's topic, is getting confident and being creative. Even if you are more of a tech type of person, or you're more science, you're more numbers, bless you, you can still use AI for creativity, especially when it comes to creating custom chatbots, or I like to call them personalized chatbots because they're for our person. And then I want you to continue practicing and make it practical. That's the key thing, is practicing and then making it practical. Perfect practice makes practice perfect. I was taught that by somebody when I was living in Houston, Texas, and I'm from Texas originally. So Ohio's half my home, Texas is the other half of my home. That's why I'm a little weird, because I grew up skateboarding, then I came to Cleveland, and they taught me what the hood was like. It changed my life. I'm gonna drop little nuggets over time, y'all. I'm gonna drop little nuggets over time. You gotta catch up. All right. Well, I didn't say what parts though. Back in the day, Houston, how about that? You know what I'm saying? 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm gonna warm up to y'all, trust me, I'm gonna warm up to y'all. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. Y'all ready to do that? Y'all good? Y'all awake? Because I know that food creates itis. I know what that itis does. I catch you sleeping in my classroom, I'm gonna wake you up now. We gonna take it old school. Steve Harvey, old school. Old school. Y'all from Cleveland, y'all. All right. So, ChatGPT, we're gonna discuss this first. If you wanna play around with things, you can. What I am gonna advise you do is, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, there's a tool called Notebook LM and another tool called Gemini. Those are the ones that I'm gonna be demoing from. All the concepts apply to everything I'm gonna be talking about. So that's why I said it was important for y'all to go through what y'all went through this morning, because the concepts apply, you use your tool, but today we're gonna use Gemini and then go old school. I just wanted to rhyme with that real quick. I was just in the moment, I was in the zone. All right, so what are custom GPTs? Custom GPTs are custom versions of ChatGPT that combine instructions, extra knowledge, and any combination of skills. So that's one thing that I like to, because I have pictures and words, but I mainly want to give you guys my interpretation and the translation. I think that's what makes experts experts. And ironically, you're going to hear a term called experts. Gemini has experts. What makes an expert today is the way that they're able to translate information, not how they give you the information. Information is everywhere. I tell people, if you want to utilize anything, you have Google. I mean, there's so many excuses that I strive to eliminate when people talk to me about, well, how can you help me do this? Well, did you try Google first? Did you try Fiverr? Did you go to the library? Nobody's going to the library. Sometimes I go to the library, Wi-Fi's down. Did you use AI? Did you use something else? What are the things that you did first before you decided that you didn't have the answer and you needed a little bit more help? And when it comes to these customizations and creating AI chatbots, that's what we're really doing, is we're creating little miniature, if we had miniature us's that were experts in these fields. It's all the same thing, they just call them something different. So a custom GPT is basically you just using ChatGPT and creating a siloed section of ChatGPT that's just for you. Just your data and just you. So some features and capabilities of creating a custom GPT with ChatGPT. It has a assisted GPT creation feature, which is very unique because the other ones don't necessarily have that. So that's something for you guys to pinpoint, is that it will help you create a custom chatbot. I mean, it uses AI and it will ask you questions. What do you want to do? What is the logo? What should that look like? It'll give you a way to just kind of get through it without you having to think too hard. So that's for those of y'all who like the automatic shift. And then there is the stick shift. I know we don't use that anymore, but for manual users, I learned on a stick shift, so I had to learn when I started driving automatic that you need to take your foot off the clutch. The brake is not the clutch. So yeah, I got in trouble a couple times. When it comes to these custom GPTs, it can give custom instructions. We can access the internet via web browsing, create images with DALL-E, and interpret code and analyze data. And I'm gonna share with you all a little bit more about that later. But this is just a snapshot, pictures. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, so you're gonna see 1,000 pictures on here, so I don't have to say 1,000 words. More features would be you can upload PDF files, Word docs, spreadsheets, images. You can create actions and automations with other apps. That's a little bit more complicated, but you can do it. You can create starter prompts via conversational starters. That's something else that's unique to ChatGPT, custom GPTs, that is not in the other tools I'm gonna share with you, is being able to have those starter prompts. So that's another key thing, little nugget there. I'm gonna drop some gems y'all today. We can also mention them in the default ChatGPT using the @ symbol. So I'm very sure a lot of you all here have used some type of program where you typed in that @ symbol, not like at your house, but the @ symbol. And when you typed it in, something else happened next. Like you're able to pull from other sources of data. That's what I mean. You can type the @ symbol, and then you can literally call another custom GPT, name it Sandy, and Sandy can talk to Jimmy. Jimmy does social media, Sandy does video marketing, and they can talk to each other in one chat when you just hit the @. So one chat with the @. Does that make sense? And then they can also be shared with anyone, both the free and paid users, team members, or GPT store. That is also another very unique value proposition when it comes to ChatGPT, custom GPT, is that last one right there can be shared with anyone, both free and paid, and also your team members. And you can also monetize. Say you made a custom GPT, and you like, man, I've been rocking with this thing. It's been helping me out, blah, 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 blah. I want to help other people with this custom GPT. Boom, pushing in that store. I think Tiny was talking about e-commerce earlier. That's how you get some e-commerce money, y'all. Hey, I'm just trying to connect the dots. Don't connect them dots. So that's really unique when it comes to ChatGPT. When it comes to the assistant, remember how I told you you can use it to create not just a custom GPT, but you can use the AI within the system to help you create the custom GPT. And that is when it's calling create from assistant. So basically you want to tell it what you want to make. You want to name it. You want to give it a logo, give it a focus of some type of information or topics, give it a tone of voice. Craig was saying earlier when he was doing his talk about how he had to update his tone of voice in order to get a little bit more customization when he was creating content. And until he updated the tone of voice, it was kind of, how do I say this? Nobody get offended. It's like when you were making some food and not putting no salt or pepper on it. Because I know some of y'all just be killing food without no salt and pepper in here. I ain't looking at nobody's eyes. I ain't judging nobody. But when it comes to spices, I like to spice that thing up, okay? I'm from Texas, y'all. I know. From Cleveland, too. That was a joke. That was a joke. See, some of y'all gonna get it. We gonna catch up. We gonna catch up now. All right. So we also want to tell it what to avoid. I think that's another hidden thing that a lot of people don't do when they're creating their prompts. So say you know how to prompt. You're like, okay, I want to do this and to do that and go here. Okay, I know as a father of a 2-year-old, I have to tell my little baby what not to do. Not only I have to tell her what to do. Hey, sweetie, you need to do this, do that. Okay, do that. Yeah, we can play with that, but I also have to say, okay, don't do this, don't do that. So that way it's in the back of her head. Now, we all know little toddlers is going to do what they want to do anyway. So, but it's in the back of her head, so that way, when I go back to it again, she's referencing when I said don't do this. Same thing with AI. We got to tell it what to avoid. One thing that I think that most people don't do when they're writing content, because I can tell you right now, this is one of those things that most people get wrong, is they don't tell it to avoid buzzwords. That's one easy way for somebody to already give you that stanky leg look or stanky face look, like, ooh, that's my best stanky, ooh, I'm trying. But they're going to give you that face because they know you created it with AI. They feel like it didn't come from you. So with all this AI advancement, you have to start doing things now because we're so primed in our mind to think automatically. I guarantee about 80% of the world now who uses AI automatically thinks that when they see content written on any social media platform, it most likely has been written with AI. By a raise of hands, would anybody agree with that or not agree with that? You don't have, I'm not pressuring you. Okay. So almost half the room. The whole purpose of me saying that is that we have skepticism. So for those of y'all who did not raise your hand, you must not understand the concept of skepticism. We're all skeptical. Like we have stereotypes. We have things, biases in us that automatically feel, we don't even know half the things we're doing. We know what we're feeling though. AI is the same way. So if you don't use words to avoid, hey, don't use these buzzwords. Take out the top 20 buzzwords and don't use them. And then you drop in the buzzwords manually, let the AI do the rest of the stuff. I guarantee you, you're gonna have a souffle. Some of y'all want to eat hamburger helper. That's up to you. So, next part. We have creating it manually, going back to my automatic versus the stick shift metaphor. Now, for those of y'all who want to control how you transition with those gears, I'm not a car guy, I'm just coming up with the top of my head. Some of you want control, this is how you do. You create the custom AI bot by doing the same thing you did before, except this time, it doesn't assist you. It doesn't ask you any questions. It just gives you these fields, and then you type in the name. You type in the description. You type in the expert analysis. I got this thing going backwards. You type in the description and the instructions and everything else, and then the conversation starter prompts, you can type those in too. So either you're going to do it manually or you're going to do it automatic. Automatic or manually. You choose, but you have the choice. You don't necessarily have the choice with the other AI tools I'm going to show you today. So hopefully y'all get that that's one of the key things going this way. So limitations of custom GPTs, because there's a limit to everything. I know Biggie says sky's the limit. Maybe I shouldn't say Biggie because the whole Diddy thing is not. But there's a limitation to everything, right? So because of the limitation, we got to talk about them. Only paid users can create custom GPTs. Now, here's the thing, because before, some of y'all may not have caught that, I said that anybody can use a custom GPT. But now I'm saying only paid users can create custom GPTs. Does it sound like I'm contradicting myself? No. Okay. Okay, y'all smart bunch, huh? Okay, you're good. We gonna bring it back. I love that. That's what we need. I need that. I feed off the energy, y'all, okay? Because we don't get boring and bland and mundane. I feed off the energy. But yeah, one of the biggest things is being able to use a paid account in order to have access to creating a custom GPT. But you don't have to have a paid account in order to use a custom GPT. That's very key for you all to understand, because that means that ChatGPT is giving people more access. I know we have computers that were brought here and donated here. That was to create access. We talk about this word access all the time. It's not just access Hollywood. It ain't just access to our bank accounts. It's what do we have access when it comes to the tools and the customizations of the tools. Does not have a free trial. That's big, because the things I told you about today, Gemini does have a free trial. Data file limit to up to 20 files, that changes, so that could be changed today. Who knows? Some of these things I'm going to tell you all today could be changed in a week or two. I mean, these guys are moving rapidly, moving fast. That's how AI is. So again, I just want to give you the concepts, and you do your own homework. It has about half a gig, which is 500 megabytes limit per file. Names, the thing that annoys me the most in this tool, I'm going to give you one of my annoyances, at that the darn names get cut off. Like it cuts off the name. So
a certain amount of characters per name?
When you put in a source file, you upload a file, you'll notice that you won't see some of the name. It'll cut it off, it'll truncate it. Why is that important? Why does that get on my nerves? Because there's sometimes when I put in 20 files, I don't remember what everything's named. And some things I name it in a structured way, half the way, and then the other way I give it customization. So in ChatGPT, I can't see the names of my files.
There's no way to let the mouse on top and then see it.
No bueno. No way. And I'm saying that because there is a way in another tool. So things that I'm making a big point of, I'm saying what I'm saying it because in another tool, you might most likely be able to do it. That's why I'm making a big deal, because I want you all to have the options. It doesn't matter what you use, the concepts apply to everything. The differences that changes is the functions and the features, potentially from the tools. But the concept, it applies. And then you can't download files or reopen them. That's another thing that gets on my nerves too. You cannot download, so once you put it up, once it goes in, it ain't coming out. Once you throw that Frisbee, you ain't getting it back. You know what I'm saying? Once that money goes up, you already know what happens to that. I gotta check it in the savings, y'all. Check it in the savings? So some of y'all just don't even know. Okay. Like I said, you can't download them, and you can't change the model as well. So keep that in mind. A couple of examples and use cases. I just wanted to do a few per tool, just to give you guys some ideas. But like I said, you don't have to test it with ChatGPT. You can test it with another tool as well too. So a use case would be a business idea, validating, using a bot to validate a business idea. So that's something I see, and I like, because the fact that Craig and Tanya had theirs earlier, they talked about a lot of different business ideas. There was a lot of ideas that were shown. And one thing that I noticed is that oftentimes people are not validating their idea. You all will use your friend, you'll use a family member. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, and Craig was making a joke about it earlier, about how they can talk to each other and stuff like that, and you may love it so much it becomes your best friend. It's getting ready to get that dangerous. Like that's getting ready. Like it's it knows so much detail. I'm not talking about Apple's AI. I'm talking about just normal, like a ChatGPT. You talking to it, it will give you so much detail that it'll become your best friend. You'll get used to that. So I'm saying that because y'all could use that instead of messing with your best friend. Like we're so, our mindset is in a TikTok era, and we get bored so fast. That's why you're gonna hear my voice go up and down. So now I had a lot of training. I used to do a lot of music. I used to help other people, singers and stuff. So when it comes to understanding how people, your tonality, the way you fluctuate, your hey, all these things, it's like watching a movie. You have to have a movie that has comedy, that has drama, that has love, that has up and down, everything like that. That's the way that you want to think about when it comes to validating your business idea. That's the way you want to think about using the AI, is being able to give it information and be able to trust it for the most part. I'm not saying that everything it says is going to come out, but trust it for the most part that it's probably going to have more of your best interest than you bothering your friend, your cousin, your aunt, your kids, or something else like that about a new idea, and they're only kind of like, yeah, cool, yeah. It's going to be less biased, unless you tell it to be biased. And I'm just saying that to say we're moving so fast. Most of us, they say, anybody got time for that? You know what I mean? Anybody got time for that mean? Well, the AI got time for it. You know what I'm saying? Your peoples may not have time for it. So this example, again, was just talking about creating a GPT that asks questions about market demand, competition, profitability. Tiny went over some of this. And then a bot that provides a quick analysis based on users' answers. And it will help you validate the business concept. Once you put it through there, then take it to your friends. We have to go through a workflow of, okay, you Googled it, you search engined it, now you are ChatGPT in it, or you're Gemini in it, or you're Clauding it. I'm just saying the words of the platforms. And then you take it to somebody else that either you're gonna pay $9.99 or for free, or whatever you're gonna do to then say, okay, now I'm gonna use your time efficiently. I mean, to me, that's working smarter, not harder. I could be wrong, though. Another use case would be a job interview prep bot. So for those who are seeking jobs, jobs right now are so crazy. It takes about an average of 4 to 6 months to get a job, an average of 100 applications to get maybe 10 callbacks. So if you're going to go through all that, creating a bot, especially with the new ChatGPT update that has the voice update, so it's in the free. For those of y'all who did not know, they have upgraded it to the free. You get more prompts with the paid, but it's with the free now. So what I mean by that is ChatGPT before, the voice, it could not have a conversation with you like the movie Her, Joaquin Phoenix. It couldn't do that before. So if those of y'all who know, I'm a movie lover. It's literally now Her, Joaquin Phoenix, where it'll stop in the middle of you talking to it. If you open up another phone with the AI, they'll talk to each other. It'll change its voices, it'll do all that. Some of you all already know this. So I'm saying this is because now we can use it as an interviewer. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm trying to get this job doing this. You play this role, I'm gonna play this role. Now you're role playing, and it's role playing in real time. If that don't make sense, I don't know what else to do, because you didn't have stuff like that. You had to use a friend. You had to use something else, or a robot that was kind of stiff up the butt. Now you got something that's a little bit more loose, okay? So another example right here, I thought it would be appropriate to use the BDPA Cleveland Connect Custom GPT. For those of y'all who remember, I said that you can use it for free when you are using somebody else's GPT. You just can't create it for free. So try this out. The whole purpose of this is, again, to create a customization, a customized bot, personalized bot of BDPA, and give you information on what BDPA is up to, what BDPA is doing, what BDPA is about. I'm gonna leave this real quick. Everybody good?
1 second.
Yeah. And I think Craig would appreciate your feedback too as well, because he put a lot of time and effort into it. All right, now we get into Claude. Now we get into Claude projects, to be specific. So what I did not mention before, and that's why I purposely added these little anecdotes, I guess, to add little pictures and stuff, so that way you can see when I'm on a certain slide, you see what company it's by, you can see the icon, and then you can see the website as well, because I know some people will have questions like that. When it comes to Claude, they are created by Anthropic, and then ChatGPT is created by OpenAI. So if I say Anthropic or Claude, I'm referring to the same thing. Just letting y'all know. I'm gonna use the words interchangeably. This is the same thing as creating a custom GPT. I'm gonna start right there. How I mentioned before, concepts apply across the board. It is the same thing as creating a custom GPT, except it's just a little different. So projects allow users on Claude Pro and Claude for Work to create self-contained workspaces with their own chat history and knowledge base. With each project, you can upload documents, provide context, and have a focused chat with Claude, blah, 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 blah. You can create your own custom chatbot with Claude using the term called projects. That's the key. That is the main thing. Now, why would you want to do that over using ChatGPT? We'll get into that next. So some of the features and capabilities of Claude is giving custom instructions. You can host knowledge base via uploading files. The thing I like about Claude that ChatGPT does not do, it'll indicate a file limit. For me, little things like that are like tech nerdy UI, UX, things I like, just little nuances. So basically what I'm saying is ChatGPT, you can upload 20 files. It won't tell you how much storage limit you have. With Claude, they do it differently. Claude doesn't give you a limit on how many files you add. Claude limits you on how much storage. So as you're uploading files, it'll tell you you have 50% left. You have 10% left. You have 20% left. I like that because it gives me more things I can upload. Sometimes things are bigger, sometimes they're smaller. With ChatGPT, say each file is 5 megabytes and you have 20 files. That's not that much. But say, with Claude, you're like, oh, but this one file is, 200 megabytes type of thing. So it's quantity over quality at that point, the amount. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's the way that I look at it when it comes to Claude. So when it comes to a project with Claude, you would name your project, you would give it a description, you would set custom instructions, and then you would upload knowledge base. The custom instructions, this part right here, that's one of the most key parts about creating any type of custom chatbot is the instructions that you give it and using the AI to actually give you help with instructions. So don't overthink it. Don't try to create the instructions by yourself. Do all the things. You ain't got to, you ain't got to do all that. It's not a curriculum. Use the AI, any type of AI, and say, hey, I need to create instructions to create these customized chatbots. Let it help you do that, and then you take that output it gave you, and then you toss it in here. So that's another key thing to it. I like to use AI with AI. Sometimes I'll use ChatGPT to correct Claude. Sometimes I'll use Claude to correct ChatGPT. I'll use them interchangeably. And like I said, you upload files to the knowledge base as well, and it does the storage, which is different. Now, with projects, it does not give you as many, fields or things that you can do like custom GPTs, like ChatGPT does. So it will limit you on the features. However, when I say the output of this bad boy, made a lot of money off this joint. Made a lot of people happy too. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm a fan of Claude. I don't want to start crying because I'm happy, but Claude has saved some lives. Okay? Claude has saved some lives.
Can I make a comment about Claude?
Yeah.
So sometimes, I primarily use ChatGPT, and I'll ask it something, and it looks like it's thinking about it. So I just abandon ChatGPT and run over to Claude, put my question in. Claude's like boom, 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 boom. I forgot about what ChatGPT was doing.
That happens.
Claude is on it. I don't know what the slow up is. I don't know why ChatGPT is still thinking, trying to figure out my answer. Well, meanwhile,
Claude
Claude
is.
has already delivered and then some.
I agree. And to that point, ChatGPT just created an answer to Claude, to exactly what Tanya is saying. Now it has a new model called O1. So before it was working on a model 4.0, and now this O1 model is so smart. When I say so smart, I thought this stuff was smart before. Now the O1 model is only for paid users of ChatGPT. But because of what Tanya is saying, I think that, because they're all listening to each other. All these people are, this CEO is listening and watching, this CEO is listening, watching, that CEO is listening, watching, and they're letting, sometimes it's not smart. This is one thing I had to learn to myself. It's not smart to be the innovator. It's not smart to be the first time to bat user. There's actually a term for it. I forgot, it lost the top of my mind, but the concept is that the people that go first usually are the ones with the arrows in their back. Yeah. Everybody's shooting arrows at the people that are first, they're the first go-getters, first setters. And then there's people who, you said what?
Pioneers.
Pioneers. There you go. Thank you, bro. Thank you very much. What's your name? Corey. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that. Now, look, look, at some point in time, it ain't even gonna work, but we're gonna use that one. But to the point though, it's the arrow. So I'm just saying this to say that being a pioneer is good in some degree, but you have to realize that people are waiting for you to either succeed or fail. That's the AI. So I believe where ChatGPT was failing at, Claude was like, oh, we need to do this, and they made this new model called Sonnet. Then OpenAI was like, oh, everybody's going to Claude, so we need to make a new model and start over and call it O1, because the last one was 4.0. And people were getting tired of them with these weird names. It was supposed to be called Strawberry. That's the technical term. It was supposed to be ChatGPT Strawberry. So if you see that, you'd be like, oh, okay, Strawberry means O1. So O1 is what some people are calling ChatGPT 5. They don't want to call it 5 because they said 5 will blow up the world. I'm dead serious. 5 would mess up the world. It's so smart that they were scared to release ChatGPT 5. So I believe that they dumbed it down and called it O1 to start over. But thank you, Tani. So they bounce back and forth when it comes to stuff. So what I say, only pay users. Oh, Claude can be shared with team plans. Does not have a free trial. So like ChatGPT, it does not have a free trial. So now we know Claude doesn't have a free trial and ChatGPT doesn't have a free trial. So you're gonna have to put that $20 down, y'all. Also, Claude has no projects stored in the marketplace. I skipped one. It has a 200,000 token context window. So basically, how many tokens you can use. Long story short is how many words that you can write in your prompt. There's other nuances, technical nuances, but I like to break it down to a C student level because sometimes it just be too much. It just be too much. And then there's no sharing projects outside of members on the same Teams plan. So you can share projects, but you have to have a Teams plan in order to share a project. So once you create your project or your custom GPT, typically if you have people on your team, you want to be able to share it with your team. That's very important because you done worked very hard. Now here's the meat and potatoes or the secret sauce to these things. None of these custom, in my opinion, because you're not going to say my opinion these days in 2024. So in my opinion, none of these things really are as powerful as they should be unless you're able to add resources to them. If you're not adding your own source files, you're relying on the GPT to know more than you about the subject matter. I like to use both. I like to say, okay, I'm the subject matter expert, so I'm going to go research and pull files. Now here's a cheat. I'll be cheating. I'm giving y'all some of my cheat codes now. So I'll type in Google something PDF or market research report. And I'm talking about this is what I do when I do a lot of my market research or strategies for people. Because most people won't do this, but they love the results. So go to a website that's already done the homework for you, that already has the market research report, and sometimes you have to think differently. Okay, what should I call it instead of market research report? Insight report. There's all types of terminologies. Put PDF. Get that PDF, get that bad boy, get that sucker, download it, upload that. How you get uppercut? I'm a gamer. I used to play games back in the day. Okay, some of y'all don't get Street Fighter, but you gotta uppercut that. I'm gonna say, y'all, come on now. But for real though, you gotta upload it, and that's how you kill the game with these things, because these people have, and here's the thing, these market research companies are so mad now, you'll notice that sometimes that you'll be able to download it, but when you upload it, it won't read. So they block the AI from reading because they put tens of thousands of dollars into these market research. I'm giving y'all a game right now. Tens of thousands of dollars. So I figured out a hack that I won't put on YouTube because once they do it, I believe they're gonna take down. Put that joint into Canva. What Canva will do, or use Adobe, it'll make it readable. It'll make it, yep. And so once you make it readable, download it, you put that joint back up into the thing, now it can read that market research report. 20 page, 30 page, 50 page joint. Now you ain't got to do the homework. And for real, this is practical stuff I'm giving y'all.
Yeah, my thing was when they said, oh, can't read, okay, I'll be over the notepad and paste it in a Word document.
Hey, there's many ways to skin, I don't want to say a cat, but to a rug, many ways to skin a rug. So examples of use cases. There's some cat lovers in here, so I ain't about to offend nobody. Look, I already got. I had the side eye. I ain't messing with the cat. Budget tracker. So another use case for creating a custom GPT is a budget tracker. So managing your personal finances. Some people don't realize or understand that you can use this thing to help you balance, do balancing sheets, balance your budget to help you get your bookkeeping ready. As long as you are okay with giving it the information, that's up to you. You know, I know everybody has their own privacy control feeling and scenario. I'm trying to tell you though, it'll save you a lot of money if you let the AI analyze your budget, your information, your numbers first, let it crunch them numbers, then you give that to the CPA. Then you give that to somebody else who's gonna cost you some money. How much I say this costs again?
Oh, no, it's $20.
There, that's, thank you, she paying attention. See, some of y'all ready for that free already, that free 99. Jeez. That's Cleveland, that's Cleveland. Yes, question, yes.
All right, so say if you have a project for a client, right? And you put in all the deliverables that you would be giving to that client, could you possibly create a pricing and give it to the client based on what you put in, the AI?
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, there's a document. It's called Pricing Strategies, and there's I forgot who made it, but basically it has all the pricing secrets. So what I like to do is I like to use credible experts who have wrote books or who have wrote summaries and their strategies into like a summary. I'll take the expert's summary and then I'll put it in pricing strategies. So for instance, why we use $9.99 instead of $100?
Makes it a little more profitable.
So there's strategies behind why we use, if it's over $100 or $200, why we don't use the number symbol. There's so many different techniques that you guys fall for every day. You have no idea. The number's big, it's small, it's green, it's red, it's this, it's that. So those are pricing strategies. So to your point, yes, absolutely. Look for a document like that, put in the client's information, and then have it whip up that cake. Whipping it good, you know what I mean? I try to be a little young, act like a little, okay. All right, so tracking your budget, that's the key. Being able to just track your finances, use it to help you do that. So gems, as I told you, I was dropping gems today. I meant that literally and figuratively, because now we're at the gems part. When it comes to gems, they are also custom GPTs, personalized bots. And remember in the beginning when I said the word expert, Google likes to be over the top, dramatic like Apple. So they call them the AI experts. Are they really experts? That can be debatable. It depends on what information that you've given it. It depends on what instructions you've given it. Because sometimes you may know more than the AI when it comes to something that's more recent or something that's more nuanced, like a niche, like something that's only you know because you've talked to 5 clients, 10 clients. The AI ain't gonna know. And I believe Craig said it before when he said in his workshop, type in something about from an African American's or a black person's or an Italian person's or a Latino person's perspective. Type it in from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? The AI ain't going to know all the time unless you give it certain instructions and say, okay, give it to me this way, because what's meant for this person, what's meant for this man, this woman, this ethnicity, this something else may not be meant for me. And some of y'all got to stop being scared. Yes, I said scared, not scared. Stop being scared to tell the AI what to do very specifically. You're not going to offend it. Trust me, it's the last thing you're going to offend. So features and capabilities. You want to give it custom instructions. What I do like about this is it has an undo and redo button right here. So that's a nice little neat feature right there. You can use a prompt generator. So once you write a prompt, what's different about this in Claude is that you don't have to go to another AI tool. Remember how I said that you want to first use the regular chat AI feature or section to ask it how you should create a prompt for creating a custom anything. With this thing, you can go straight in there into instructions, write what you want, and then press this little button right here, this little pencil button, and what it will do is it'll rewrite your prompt for you, and it'll rewrite it in a better way. So with the other tools, it ain't gonna write your prompt for you. With this one, it'll write your prompt for you if you give it at least a starter point. It'll rewrite it. So that's something that's different. It'll export to Google Docs as well, and it'll draft in Gmail too. Oh, and I forgot, you can mention extensions. Remember how I said with ChatGPT, you could mention other custom GPTs. You can have this custom GPT, maybe you have an AI writer talking to, a video creator, or a planner, some type of media planner. And these two are custom GPTs. In ChatGPT, you can have them talk to each other. You can't do that with this. What this is saying, you can mention other Google properties. So I always say Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. And that's a lot of love, right? And so Google is going to allow you to mention its properties in its AI interface, which the other ones don't do that. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Copilot with Microsoft?
Mhm.
Microsoft, is it the same with like integration through there?
I would relate. So Microsoft and Copilot are akin to ChatGPT. They're all coming from OpenAI. They're just doing it in a different way. So I wouldn't say it's not like this per se, because Copilot, to me, is more like Perplexity, or what was that one called? I think it's Perplexity. Copilot does not have, as far as I know, unless somebody can tell me differently, it doesn't have this custom feature. But you can integrate APIs into it and create things from it. That's just more technical. All this stuff that I'm sharing with you today, this is supposed to be more commercial for the average, everyday human being, person. I think when you get to Copilot, you really are getting more developer heavy for that stuff. Outside of its regular, everyday stuff, if that makes sense. But that's a good question, though, Copilot. With this, as I mentioned, you get access to Google Apps. You also get to open up Google Drive docs. You get to return to specific gem chats and to continue discussions. You get the pin gems. I believe you can do that in OpenAI as well too, and Anthropics and Claude. So you get to basically favorite. When I say pin, I'm talking about favorite. You have a certain custom chat bot that you love, or your top 5 chat bots, and you've already made 30 of them. Pin your 5. Save your 5 so that way you can go back to it every time. You can also re-edit, so you can go back in and change something. And what's neat about this is that you can make copies. So say you have your favorite custom chatbot you've made, and you want to just make a variation of it. You don't necessarily want to make a whole new one from scratch. You can make a copy of it, just like that. So this part right here, I'm just pretty much going to go through real fast because I'm going to show you just a live demonstration and then have somebody give an example, or I can use examples that I have. So basically creating a gem is very, very easy. Just go to gemini.google.com. In the left bottom hand corner, you're going to see this little gem symbol. You just click that symbol, and then you'll see the new gem over here to the right side. They say create new gem. There you go. And then you just start typing in your prompt. You just name it. Does that seem complicated? It's supposed to be simple. So limitations of gems. Another situation where you're going to have to spend that 20. More money, more money. You're going to have to spend that 20 because they're not free.
It reminds me of how everything went to streaming, and now instead of paying for one cable bill, we're paying for all these
Multiple.
individual networks.
Yep, Netflix.
Favorite
Unless you do a bundle. And even then, the bundles aren't all bundled and everything. You know what I'm saying?
this show, that show, this show, that show is all on different networks. We gotta pay
It's
$20, $15.
Cable 2.0.
and to that point, that's why, I would definitely say using one is going to be your best bet. Choosing one of these options, because that's the last thing I want anybody in here to do, is feel like they need to have all 3, 4, because I'm giving you guys a bonus one that is free. The last thing I want you to do is feel like you have to use all of them. They all have their different benefits and pros and cons, so I'm going to show you as well too. But just choose one. That $20 is worth it. That $20 is going to save you $200,000 to $20,000 over a period of time. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. It'll save you so much. I know we're in hard times, but again, we're striving to use AI to help almost replicate ourselves. Give ourselves a better opportunity, give ourselves a fresh start or an equal start. And I know that's a big part of BDPA's mission and Midtown Tech Hive is being able to give people access and equal opportunity. And that's what all this AI stuff is for. So just choose one. You don't need to use all of them. And so with gyms, they don't host files. So that's a key thing right there. Let me point that out right there. The other two host files. So you can upload files, or you can the files up there, and then do what you want to do with the custom AI chatbot. When it comes to Gemini, you cannot upload any files to the actual chatbot itself. You can only upload files when you start using the chatbot in a conversation. And even then, it doesn't save the files to your original chatbot at all. So that's one thing that that's why I say Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. And that's a lot of love. Because Google is like, yo, you about to mess with our properties, or you ain't about to mess with none of that at all type of thing. They want to put you in that ecosystem, like Apple. There is no gym marketplace, and there are no starter prompts. I did notice, though, when it came to their starter their starter custom GPTs, I said custom gyms, that they actually do have starter prompts, but when you're making your own gym, you can't do anything. You cannot create a starter prompt. Basically, when you open up the gym, you want to be able to press this button and it automatically will do this thing for you. You can't do that with this. You can do that with ChatGPT and with Claude. And then can't create interactive charts, tables, graphs, and interfaces. So this was going to be because I had learned today, I was doing an experimentation, yesterday, and then doing more today, that Gemini has advanced data analysis. So I ended up switching up some of my presentation because I was going to show you guys something different. But because I saw that it does have advanced data analysis, I thought it was cool to show you all anyway, to show you all the stuff. So yes, you can do charts, tables, and graphs when it comes to Gemini. So I just wanted to correct that so nobody got confused. So a use case, a daily task prioritizer. You have a personal to-do list, give it everything that you need to do. You want to get this done by this time, you need to have this much done, you have these blocks, you only have this amount of time. Give it that and let it organize things for you. Then you can plot that or put that inside your calendar or whatever tool you're using. So that's one example of way to use it. Another way, kind of in reverse, you have a meeting. So say you have a business meeting, and I know everybody in this room has been in a business meeting or some type of meeting where you could have summarized that in 10 minutes. This could have been this could have been you know what I'm saying? This could have been we ain't got no agenda. What we doing here? We just talking, we just doing our thing. So, real life use case, right? If you guys are hosting a meeting, you can have a meeting agenda. So, and we all do it. We all have that situation. But I'm just giving you some practical ideas. So we have a daily planner list for personal stuff, and then a meeting agenda when we're doing meetings. All right, let me show y'all.
Does it pull in the Google tools?
It
Or is it standalone? This is all standalone.
It depends on. So that's another thing too. So if you're using the personal Google Gemini tool, you get to have more extensions. But when you're using the business version, Google Workspace, they give you one extension to hook up to it because Google likes to roll out features to the business plans slower than the personal ones. So right now, I only have access to Google Drive, Google Docs, and Google Sheets. Otherwise, you can get access, just 3 things. Otherwise, if you have a personal account, that's why I said it has a free trial. If anybody wants to sign up for it, you can. They do 30-day free trial. And you can hook up things like YouTube, your Google Drive, Gmail, maps, flights, hotels. You can hook up all those Google properties right into this AI bot, and you can basically have it plan you out a trip. This is what I used to help me plan when I went to Taiwan and Athens, Greece. I used AI to help me plan a lot of that. And even though the trip was still crazy, because you know how life go, y'all. You tell God your plans. You want to make God laugh, what do? Tell him your plans. So no matter how much plan I did, for the most part, everything was great. Everything was great. And then other things that I had to figure out along the way that had nothing to do with the AI tool, but it helped me plan the flights, the hotels, this distance from that distance, all that stuff, and I was impressed. And this was a trip overseas, my first time. Say that again? See, I had never been to Athens before. I never been to Greece. I ain't never.
There's no AI gonna help you there, man.
Listen, the only Greece I know is Giannis Antetokounmpo. How do you say his name from the NBA? That's the only Greece I know. So I learned. I was Kevin Hart's joke. I learned that day. I'll tell you that right now. I learned that day. But yeah. So when it comes to Gemini Advanced, you can see right now at the top left-hand corner, we have it say Gemini Advanced. If you're not using the Advanced, I believe it's just going to say Gemini or Basic or something like that. And then when it comes to being able to create a gem, you go here, as I mentioned, left-hand corner, and then you click New Gem, and then you would name your gem. So, like I said, I can use the examples, or I can get some feedback from y'all. Anybody has a task that they have to do every single day that gets on their nerves? Let's start there. Why do I have to wake up, Jim? Hey, you talking to me? I'm gonna throw it in there now. Don't play with me.
You know how you have to work out and you have to figure out what time of the day.
Okay. Okay, so work out, workout routine and time manager or balance or something like that. I'm just making this up as we go. Okay. So, what do we want to?
We want a strategy for working out if you work 40 hours a week and manage a family.
I work. That's very 40 hours a week, and I need to work out. What is my goal? What is my goal?
I don't know, what's the strategy around that? Like,
Am I doing this to lose weight? Am I doing this to fit inside clothes, to get in shape? Like, what do I want to do with this?
I think establish a habit, because it's not about weight loss, it's about just having something you do all the time, right? Maybe establish a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, a healthy lifestyle.
What did Erykah Badu say? Maybe this next lifetime.
It's really about lifestyle, right? It's not about like goals.
Okay.
You meet your goals and you ain't gonna.
This is a very simple one, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now, remember when I said that you can do it simple? Hold on, sorry. And then I click this right quick. So we just put in something super simple that I would probably never use. But all I did was click this button right here, and then it gave me more information. So it gave me purpose and goals, behaviors and rules.
Oh wow, what is that?
It gave me the tone. Even what's that information? So remember, we only gave it a one sentence, and then I pressed that button, and it wrote the whole thing for us. So is that not magic? I mean, is that not cool? I'm trying to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm gonna say, okay, we're cool with this. Now here's the thing. Remember how I said that you can hit the undo button? So for example, I'm gonna hit undo. So I like this, because the other tools don't have that. So say you wanna start it over, boom, hit the undo, you good. I can even hit the redo. Undo, redo, undo, redo. You can't do that with the other tools when you create a custom chatbot. So this is something that you can do with this one. And so I'm gonna click save. All right. So now I have this bot here, workout routine, time manager. So I want to say, let's see, what do we want to say? Like, what do we want to do today? We know we don't want to wake up. I know that for a fact. We ain't trying to wake up and enjoy the day. We ain't doing that today.
I got one that I hate. So, what's a good way of going through like your inbox is finally put in, and you don't know, okay, which one's spam, stuff I don't care about versus something that's important I need to read. Sometimes you get like 100, 200 emails a day, and you're like, I don't have time. I can't read through all this. It takes too long.
Oh, so we talk about so basically you're talking about another reason to have another custom bot, because this one is more for working out and having a healthy lifestyle. Now I get that checking your email, yeah. Trust me, there's definitely email now. We can check an email enough to, you know what I'm saying, that'll take us all out. But this ain't the same thing. I would say give me a 7-day workout or let's see, meal plan. 7-day meal plan and
It's like a personal trainer now.
workout routine that.
And a strategy.
So I just made the chat bot And see how fast it is too. It's answering pretty fast sometimes. So I just told her, give me a 7-day meal plan, workout. I meant to say workout routine that is relevant. So
So can we take this a step further and use the chat bot to create an app? Because this can like literally be an app that somebody would pay for a monthly subscription for.
it does coding as well. I mean, to your point, that's what you would want it to do is help give you, an app has so many nuances. So we talk about the technical part, the code part, but then yeah, it could help you with naming the app. It has vision, so it's able to see. It's multimodal. So basically, it's able to hear, see, read. I just learned today that, because I wanted to show y'all some crazy stuff, but I just learned today that it can now, the other tool can now do audio. So it can transcribe. You know how much money I've been spending for transcription tools? So accessibility is a huge thing. I don't know if y'all know about this right now, but on websites, accessibility is a big thing. If we're not transcribing things, you're hurting your potential audience. And also people are getting sued for not having accessible websites. So it's a new thing, but the law goes in next year, especially for Europe. So if you have Europe customers, you have a potential of getting in trouble, and all of us want worldwide customers, right? For the most part, or clients or whatever, or networking. But yeah, if you don't make things accessible, so I'm saying this to say, I had learned that the AI, the other one I'm going to show you, it will transcribe audio up to 200 megabytes, and that saved me. I'm spending like a couple $100, every couple of months for transcription things. Saves money now. So just something something practical.
You know what, to answer your question, taking it a step further, there's some no-code app tools.
And there are definitely some no-code app tools.
So you could probably use this to come up with an app idea
Yeah.
and ask it to give you step-by-step
Yep.
instructions, upload that into the no-code tool. And I bet you they could scrape that tool
I agree.
and create a plan according to that tool. Yeah.
Going back to using the AIs together. They're separate tools, but you're using it together, thinking one thing.
So eventually, when like everybody just start using AI, it's like a thing that like is that not scary that like I don't know my question I'm trying to ask, but
Yeah.
when it's like accessible to everybody, everybody knows it. It's like just picking up the phone now, like you said, they are scared to release the file or whatever because it's so powerful and so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like eventually, would it be like a downfall to AI or provide the take
So you talk about Terminator, The Matrix, to all of it. I mean, for real, like, that's what we talk about here, right? Like, let's call it spade a spade. We're talking about Skynet.
Yeah. I was talking about I was like slightly disappointed, but also
Yeah, that one of the, he's a bad guy too. But yeah, no, he walked away because of that, because they're doing too much with it. But that's why I'm trying to share with you all. Like, you can be afraid of it. I mean, there is real fear to it. So anything I'm showing with you, just be aware that they even have checkboxes and certain things and disclaimers that say, hey, we're using this data to feed, and I think Tani said earlier, to feed our systems. So they are learning from us. But when you use some of the paid versions, you can typically, most of the time, turn that off. You can stop them from doing that. So you are the product. As much as you don't understand that you're using a tool, you're the product when it comes to this free service. They're studying us. We are the product is what I mean. Only until it's not paid.
thank you all.
You're welcome. When it's paid, that's when they give us the option to say, you know what? Don't use my data the way you want to use it. Now here's the thing. They can still use it anyway. That's how sneaky they can be. Except they don't use as much of it at that point in time. So there is a real reason to be free, to have fearful. But it's here. It's like they were afraid of the microwave at one point in time. People said the microwave was gonna kill us. Who right now has a microwave in their house? Everybody's hand should be up. Everybody has a microwave. Well, not everybody, because I didn't have it for a year. Or I should say air fryer, especially for yeah.
Best things that was ever invented: the airplane, the
And
internet, and the air fryer.
see y'all. Yes.
What would you classify as the difference between AI and machine learning? Is it just a rebranding of the name, or like would you constitute a specific difference between the two?
Between AI and machine learning?
Yeah.
They're different. Yeah.
In what case? Like, what makes them different?
Machine learning is, I'd say, all right. So there's a hierarchy.
machine learning model to say in the next 10 years, this is how much it will put on in terms of bandwidth, in terms of how polished it gets, in terms of stuff like that. And then AI takes it a step further up from there. It's looking at your models and saying not just predicting stuff, but it starts doing things that seems more intuitive. It starts approaching usability like passing the Turing test, which is your system now appears human. It's not just this non-intuitive, non-feeling like machine learning whole thing. It's now approaching a point where I can talk to it, I can interact with it, and can surface these insights almost automatically.
So would you constitute it then being separated based on its ability to scrape the web and its ability to like
Only,
be more
only insofar as much as it can do that for itself. There are like machine learning models that you can use to do that or approach that. How it becomes different with an AI system is it starts approaching that Turing test. It appears human. I think in fact it was last week that OpenAI with Strawberry passed the Turing test. That you can't tell that it's not human anymore, right? So I think that's the level of granularity. I know all this because I helped to build Bedrock, which is Amazon response to ChatGPT. So like a lot of conversations about when you ask the question about pretend that your audience is black or stuff like that, it sounds like a good idea, but based on how we programmed it, it might not work because, like, especially as a person of color, we trained it to make sure that it did not get into the racial biases or that it was fair to everybody. So it might work. Google got in trouble because of that.
Yeah, that's actually, so to your point right there, Claude will not, and I did, for those of y'all who didn't notice, I did. That's one thing that I do that I like to do often, and I love the question, but anytime that I have a question like that, it's like there's hair salon and there's barbershop talk. What I noticed is phones and barbershop and hair salons are darn near banned. Like people want to argue they want to debate. I'll get to you one second. So what AI does now, because how often have you got an argument with somebody and says, I'm gonna Google it right now, and they still arguing with you? Let's Google it, and they still keep talking. Like why? We don't want the answer from the thing. We want to give it because it takes away from the humanness. So I think it's interesting how a question like yours, he explained it in a human way, but at the same time, in 2 seconds, I just AI'd it to give the answer. You ask the question, we have an answer. Now the real question is, who do you want the answer from? The human or the AI? That's right. That's a better question in my opinion. I'm just being real.
That's a good point.
So that's one thing that I think that we have to balance out with each other. And to your other point, that's why Claude, I love Claude, but I hate Claude. I have a love relationship, a hate relationship with Claude, because Claude, in my opinion, it gives some of the best humanized answers and ways. I'm not sure how, like Bedrock and with Amazon, I got to test with that stuff, but it gives content in a way where it's more humanized. Until now, ChatGPT would give you this robotic response. It may be correct, it may get you in the right direction, but there was something about it that like, ooh, you got a booger in your nose, but you don't want to say nothing. Like, it was something about it that was off. Claude was the answer to that. When I would write content in Claude or write prompts in Claude, it would give it me probably 80% already humanized. It sounded natural. That's a better way to say it. It had that all natural to it, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of poison the well a little bit because it's taking our bias and our craziness and it's putting it in there, whereas ChatGPT is kind of more pure for it.
Well, so I was gonna say,
giving you knowledge like without bothering how you feel about it.
So to that point, Claude actually doesn't do biases. That's why I hate Claude. Because I love it so much, I want to use it for everything. When I start asking it specific questions about time periods, history, ethnicities, men, women, anything like that, it won't do it. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I like the points you made, because I fell in love with Claude because of how smooth it was. Then I learned that even though it's smooth, there's certain topics and subjects it will not touch. It will not do it. You can't make it do it. Yep. And there's certain things that ChatGPT will answer. Yeah, it used to be, right. But here's the thing. because I know we got till 2:00. I want to get y'all to the notebook LM part. Because that right now, there's a glitch. Well, I ain't gonna call it a glitch. I'm calling it a glitch because until Google fixes it, but right now, Notebook LM is in experimental phase. And this is the gem right here. Even though the last thing was called gems, in my opinion, this is the gem. Notebook LM just made news, like national commercial news headlines in the past couple weeks. Now, the reason it's weird because Google is not promoting this tool. You have not seen a commercial on this tool. You won't see a commercial. Say it again? For what?
That video that was going around.
In the class, and
Yeah.
you just make notes.
Yeah. So more like news stream media, not mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm calling TikTok. It's like our news. That's what it's. So they're not promoting it in mainstream, and yet it made the mainstream headways because of a new feature that it has, where you're able to create a podcast-like summary of your notes, and no other tool has this. So now they're all the news stations that were like, oh my God, ChatGPT, but Notebook, Google's done this new thing, And I've been using Notebook for almost a year now, and then ain't nobody been talking about it. Now all of a sudden they got this new feature, and it's finally hitting headlines because they've done something that no other company has done by having, I'm gonna let y'all, but basically it's two human beings, a man and a woman, that are having a conversation about whatever it is that you gave it. And it sounds like a normal conversation until you hear it like 15, 20, 30, 40 times, then you start hearing certain patterns. Like, oh, okay, I hear them say that. But if you heard it for the first time, you would not think it wasn't human.
I'll say this. I saw the TikTok video and I was like really relieved because I'm currently a law student and this makes briefing my cases so much easier.
That's a great use case.
I like my professor was like,
That's a great use case.
20-page reading. I'm like, I'm not reading 20 pages. So I just put it into Notebook 11 and I get like a 10-minute podcast
That's-
talking about the case. And I'm in class like talking about the case and I'm like, he's like, you're very well read. I'm like,
I use that nowhere else. For real? No, that's a great use. No, that's a great use.
Wasn't it on ChatGPT 3 that some law firm did file a lawsuit, and then it turned out that ChatGPT had created all kinds of precedents and laws,
I remember that
named
case.
judges that didn't exist anywhere in the world. Just
Yeah, and they
And now lost his license.
Yep.
He lost his license behind that.
But they've fixed it ever since. Unfortunately, the person that law firm, they should have proved their.
They should have.
I want to add a comment about entrepreneurship on what you said. Everything getting so fake, and you know it's a bot, and you know it's AI and all that. This is a perfect opportunity to create a business that gives an organic experience, because that's the flip side now, right?
yeah, we already did that. Like my classmates and I, we started a business 2 years ago.
Oh, an organic experience.
Yeah.
Oh, he means literal. Okay, yeah. I was like, that's
Yeah,
It's called human intelligence.
yeah, even when you
That's
get
the name of the company.
oh,
Well,
no.
even when you get into different niche industries that you want to focus on, you can offer an organic experience in that. That way, you're not being drowned out with the AI and all of the fakeness that comes with it. People do want a physical, organic experience nonetheless because it stimulates our brains and
Yep.
our emotions.
I agree. Go ahead.
Isn't it easier to look at AI software as a tool that's been around, it's just been elevated? Like spell check. Now that's AI.
Yeah, that's something been around.
Yeah, so it's evolution.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the thing about the term that we're using is called it's generative AI. That's really what we're all talking about when we're talking about this kind of AI, machine learning. So, for instance, if you ever use Google Analytics, speaking of entrepreneurship, if you have a website and you've ever used Google Analytics, Google Analytics has been doing machine learning for a couple years now. That's a subset of AI. So what I mean by that is if you are using your analytics system and you're looking at your phone or your computer and you say, what were my sales at for the time period of this, or how many visitors did I had over this time period, or what countries am I being seen, or what, Google Analytics will give you a summary of everything. How is it doing that? It's using a form of AI. It's called machine learning. So it's been doing that for a long time. This is just the first time that we're able to prompt things on a commercial level. There's another tool called Jasper. So for those of y'all who don't know, the AI part, this ChatGPT and all this stuff, this has been out for almost 4 years now. The tool was called Conversion AI. Then they changed it to Jarvis. Disney sued them, and I warned about that. Then they had to change it to Jasper. I was an early adopter of Jasper until they screwed over their early adopters with a dumb new plan. But I was an early adopter of that, and it was where I was showing everybody I knew, calling me crazy. Yo, you know you can write a 10-page paper this fast? Get that out of here, Maestro. You can't, you can da-da-da-da-da. Man, you nerd, da-da-da-da-da-da. Now all of a sudden, 3-4 years later, we having a conversation right now talking about AI. But this stuff was been out years ago. And it wasn't in the point where it could do coding or it was remembering too much. It was more just about writing content. Like it was a content writer's best friend, if that makes any sense. But yeah, let me keep going because I know we're gonna.
Less accurate, because it was doing more of a guessing game.
No, I wouldn't say it was less accurate because they were still like Jasper. They were still integrating with APIs into like an open AI system. It just we didn't know who OpenAI was, back then. So they were still integrating to the systems, for accuracy purposes and things like that. But it wasn't commercialized until the whole public thing and then all that kind of stuff like that. But it's been out here for years. Is what I'm trying to say. We just haven't been using it on a commercial basis. But with Notebook LM, because this is the part that I really want to share with you guys. I'm going to go through the next parts pretty fast, but this is the part where I believe that everybody can take advantage of, especially since we've had some use cases. So you could use it for free. I'm going to say that one more time because I know I had some people looking at me crazy with the $20. You can use it for free. Dang, I say you think you get a clap for that? You would think so. but free for now. That's why I'm telling y'all. There's a reason why the label says experimental. Google don't play. See, like Google don't play, and Google loves Google more than who? Some people got it. Thank you. So yeah, Google don't play. So while it's an experimental, you better use this for free as much as possible because once it's out of experimentation, it will cost. Google knows what they're doing. They're going to monetize everything. For now, yeah. For now, it's free. So you get to give it sources. Now here's the thing. Remember I told y'all I learned today and yesterday that you could upload audio files. I did not know that. So for those of y'all who do have audio or doing audio, you can upload audio files and it'll transcribe the file for you. Docs, slides, links. Oh, links. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I learned some stuff today. I know, because I learned there, because there were things that I didn't know until 2 days ago that Google just released that they're not telling the public on purpose because that's why they call it experimental. So the things I'm sharing with you all, you got to watch like 20 different YouTube videos, read all these papers and stuff. Now I know y'all ain't nobody got time for that. But that mean y'all ain't got time for it. So one of the things that I learned was the audio part. That was a gem. The other thing was the links. So you can add links to it. Just take a link and put it in it, and it's more accurate than ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. Claude won't even read links. That's another thing. So Claude, remember I told you my favorite one? Guess what it doesn't do? It don't read links. It does not access the internet. That hurts. It forces me to have to use another AI tool, even though I got my favorite baby. I don't need this other baby, but I got my favorite. I'm just joking. We used to love all our children's. But I got my favorite tool already. But I have to use another tool because Claude gives me limitations, such as browsing the web. This thing right here, you can browse some web, like Spider-Man web type web. Yeah, what the kids do? Spider-Man webs. All right, so you can also choose which sources are active and which are not. So you can't do that with the other ones. Once you Ayukin up in there, I'm gonna just stick with the Ayukin instead of upload. Once you Ayukin it up there, you can actually say whether or not you want to use that source or not. You can choose whether you're going to use it.
Have you tried using multiple sources with this?
I absolutely have.
And it's like I tried it like for my law cases, and it only reads one at a time. But so I'm wondering if am I doing something wrong, or is it just like
You mean like you upload or you add it from Google Drive?
I upload the PDF document?
Yeah, you can because you're able to drag and drop multiple PDF docs in the thing.
It only reads one case at a time.
But you only uploads or you said it only reads?
Uploads.
Uh-huh.
both documents, but then when I try like, okay, summarize the cases from these two documents, it only does one at a time.
Interesting. Well, so I'll double check, but as far as I know, you can upload multiple. Again, they're always changing because before it used to be 20 files, then they changed it to 50. That's why I'm saying this is the one that y'all gotta joint. Y'all gotta use this joint because you can upload 50 files to this thing, and it does crazy stuff with it. So I like the interface because it has follow-up prompts. You can pin and use them as sources. So when you have a note or you get an output, you can actually use the output as a new source. That's how you layer that cake. You know what I'm saying? First you gotta have the eggs, the flour, then you gotta have everything else. You mix it up, put the first layer, put the second layer, the third layer. Next thing you know, you have a nice little cake. You can do that with this thing. You can share notebooks with anybody. You can create automatic summaries. You can review, as I mentioned, open sources, and that podcast. It has that podcast-like audio summary as well too. Creating a notebook is super simple. I'm gonna share with you all how to do that real quick, but it's as simple as going to notebook.lm.google.com and then uploading sources. And that's the reason why it says upload sources, not source, because it should let you do multiple. Normally Google is pretty good with that when it has that type of thing. But the thing is that you can have Google Drive, Google Slides, website, YouTube. That's another thing too. So that's one thing that the other tools don't do. You can upload. So say you're doing a video. You need to create a video. You need to study your competitors. Go to YouTube, type in the keyword for the videos, copy all those links, put them links into here. Say, don't say ChatGPT, or just say, hey, I need you to summarize this, or choose the key insights from each video, or what is the main theme or the top things of each video, and write me a planner for those videos on what should I do for my next video. I'm just making it up as I go, but that's what you can tell it. You can't do that with any other tool. You can do that because Notebook is owned by Google and YouTube is owned by Google. So they're allowing you that pass because Google loves Google more than Kanye loves Kanye. All right, that's the last time. I gotta make sure y'all awake. How I know you're awake is when I hear feedback back. Right now, I'm like, shoot, should I end this joint right now or what? We done? I said. What they say back in the day, I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. Remember parents used to say that to you? Disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. So that's, you know what I'm saying? So that's key right there. Now, the limitations of notebooks, right? It does not have a general chat prompt. So everything else you've seen, when we're talking about creating custom chat bots, you create a custom chat bot, but you can also use the normal chat prompt where you just add in stuff and it's not from a custom chat bot. You can't do that with Notebook LM. You can only prompt in the notebooks. So that's key. It's not trained on any data on the web. So here's the interesting thing about that. Because it's not trained on the data per se, but it will give you back answers that it had to get from the web. So even if you gave it sources, when it answers your question, it's all the information that it's answering with, it's not just in the sources you gave it. It has to use something from somewhere because it'd be saying some certain stuff, I'm like, I ain't write none of that, or none of that's in my sources, but yet the thing said anyway. So it has to have access to something. I don't know whether it would call it the web or a library, whatever.
Probably the library has from its previous Google AI.
And that could be it too. That's why, it's experimental, so we don't know. It does not retain chat history. That's another thing too. So you have to pin things. The other tools retain chat history. This thing doesn't. And that thing has caught me off guard so many times where I do a prompt in a notebook, I come back to it the next day and it's not there. Just because it didn't retain history. So when I say that will piss you off when you use that thing, I'm telling you, that will make you mad. So you need to know that it does not retain. So whatever you do, you need to copy it, put it in another document, or pin it because it will forget. It'll get amnesia on you. I'm trying to tell you. We don't know the AI version or model. It does not create images or media, and its limit is 200 megabytes per file. I said that earlier. I just want to be that clear. That is a lot of file storage right there for a file, for one file. Not total, y'all.
But it doesn't
Do you
have
under-
the number of files?
50 files, 200 megabytes per file. Now, I'm no mathematician. I failed that part in school, but I know that's a lot of storage right there. 50 files, 200 megabytes per file?
10 gigs, pretty much.
See what I'm saying? I should just AI it right now and show you, Thank you. So, for instance, one use case would be a research summarization assistant. That's one thing. I think, and what was your name again, sir? Thomas? Yeah, you were basically using it a lot for that. So here's one thing that I'll tell you. I'm gonna get just a little personal because I think it helps give some context to things. Because I like what Thomas was saying. So And somebody in here is going to use this to, for evil, but hey, that's your choice. So for my situation, I have a 2-year-old daughter, as I mentioned before. Right now, I'm going through a custody battle for her. I have been in her life all her life, but it's unfortunate that I can't get her without the law being involved. I don't have the money to afford a lawyer. So you know what I did? I used my brain. Every single documentation that I have gotten and received, I scan it. Who do you think I give it to? AI, notebook. It has helped me write my testimony, my case, get my witnesses. It has helped me feel confident that I'm going up against the state and another lawyer when I can hire a lawyer. And I'm giving you like right now. So next month is a year to the date of when I'm having my first hearing. You know what I'm saying? So I take this stuff seriously. When I talk about using AI for personal, I'm just giving you my personal. I'm not saying that you guys need to do that yourself or whatever, but that's how you can take from business of using AI, and now it's personally giving you an advantage, equal opportunity. And that's important to me because I love my daughter, I want to be in her life. And without the AI, I honestly don't think I would have a chance in heck.
If the custody battle this year, kind of hope you got 6 more months before. Literally, they got a hard limit of 18 months to close those cases.
Okay.
So once you get close to that limit, start requesting to push it.
I'll do that.
Another lawyer try to settle with you.
I'll do that. And thank you, by the way.
So
But-
do you, for that case,
We gotta bring it back. I like that. We gotta bring it back. Also, good. That was a good one. I use a little bit of them all. So because Notebook LM lets you get 50. So I use Notebook LM. So okay, let me start from scratch. I originally started using ChatGPT. I called it my family law Cochran. You know, like Johnny Cochran? Yeah. That's literally the name of my AI app. I call it my family law Cochran. I started with there. I put all my files in there, but the problem is that it only allows you to put 20 files. And then it doesn't let me see certain stuff. So sometimes in my case, stuff gets outdated. So now I don't know what is what or what's outdated and what's not. That was getting on my nerves. What I did like about it though is when I would make custom GPTs like this one, my family law, Johnny Cochran, I could talk to it in real time with the app. You can't do that with Notebook LM. So I felt like I had a lawyer. I was like, hey, Johnny, I'm about to do this. So I was creating a custom bot with the voice part. You can't do that with Notebook LM. But with Notebook LM, you can add up to 50 sources. And now you can do the podcast summary part, which blows everything else out the water. And it helps me feel even more confident because, like Thomas said, when you have a whole bunch of documentation and paperwork, you need something to be summarized in a human way. And with this tool, it can do that. So one other thing is book writing assistant. So I'm writing a book. I'm in the middle of writing a book right now. One thing I did do, and I'm gonna show you guys here in a second, is I added all the Amazon top sellers, 20 different Amazon top seller sources to see, okay, well, what are these top sellers doing that I can do and repeat to help myself write my book, type of thing. So I'll show you real quick. See right here, Amazon bestseller? Yeah, that's that manifestation right there, the affirmation you know what I'm talking about? All right, so I'll just go here to show you all. As I mentioned, you can so when I click the sources at the bottom right here, because on my screen it's small, should be the bottom right here, as I'm clicking, it's turning sources on and off, right? So that's one thing right there, okay? Let me go back real quick. Let's see, did I do the audio? Okay, audio. So the symbol, it's telling you what type of source you added by the little symbol here. You see that little audio wave file? I just learned that this morning. So you can put, and then when I click it, Sandy did a video for BDPA. I took the video and I put it up here. I think it even does video. It even lets you add the MP4, and it summarizes the video. In a quick summary, all I did was drag and drop. In terms of now let's see, hold on. I'm gonna let it summarize that. So this button right here, generate, so right now I have one source activated. Now this is the trick that I do all the time. You wanna make multiple conversations. So what I will do is I'll have certain sources turned on and I'll make a conversation, I'll generate the audio. Then what I like about it is it lets you download the audio. I download the audio. Then I delete my source, I delete the conversation, the audio right here, I delete it after I download it. Then I go back, I check more sources, and I keep doing it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some game right here, you know what I'm saying? So for real. And I keep doing that. Now I have an audio summary of different sources because when you add too many sources, I learned this the hard way, it gets confused or it'll skip stuff. So even though you added this paper or that paper, it only gives you about 10 to 20 minutes of audio. That's all it got. It's not giving you a whole hour-long podcast. And so you have to keep downloading the source, and then you delete it, and then you choose different sources, and then you do it over again. And you just keep that. Oh my goodness, you just feel like you just read 20 books doing that. Does that make sense, or does that sound like it's too complicated? So that's what that. I'm gonna open up another one. I'm gonna let that do its thing real quick. Now here's the thing. I'm not sure if you click off of it, will it still keep going? So I'm just going to, for the sake of time. Shoot, I didn't know I was going to shoot. Y'all was more interactive than I thought. I got a whole other half to go. I'm gonna have to say the other half for later for y'all. But okay, so we back here. Let's start from scratch. Let's see, Thomas, if we can't upload multiple things. Now, hold on, PDF, Markdown, audio, because right now, what happened to my,
The key is don't do it all at once, do it one time, download, delete, and then upload another one.
Yeah, that's, so let's see if I got a PDF. So hold on, let's see if it does the MP3. Let's see, here's one right here. So upload, boom. Audio, it should do this audio here. I'm gonna do multiple sources. See if I can upload multiple sources at one time. Hey, don't be judging. How to say you can learn somebody when you just judge them by what's in their downloads folder. Don't be judging, y'all. Don't be judging. Don't be judging, y'all. I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Oh, you can only upload certain files to it, so it won't let you do a Word doc. So you have to keep that in mind. It's got to, if it's a Google Doc, it's got to go through Google, because notice how some of these Word docs are not even showing up. That's something that you have to learn too. It's meant to do that. It's not like it's messing up.
So basically just upload your doc to Google.
So they're Google by.
Boom. Is that multiple files at one time? There you go. Multiple files at one time, and let it do its thing. Okay, let's see if this is done. Nope, it's still going. So multiple files at one time. And so there. Okay, so let me take let's see. Sometimes Apple. So certain sites will purposely lock their site up. Let's see if Apple locks its site up. I'm going to add a link here. See, it says storage limit right here. It lets you know. Hold on. Boom. 13 out of 50. 50, y'all. Like 50 Cent in the club. In the club. Yo, dang. I'm trying to keep it uplifted. Hold on. Let me do the link. Right here. Here's a link right there. Let's see if it takes it. Oh, it took it. All right, so good. There we go. And then the thing is when you click it, it gives you a summary. The other ones don't do that. So even if you may forget what that document is, and all you gotta do is click it, and then they'll give you a summary of that doc. All right, here we go. Let's listen to this real quick. Hopefully my speakers are.
Diving into that strategy session you had with Maestro, all about giving your website like a total makeover, which
It's so exciting.
is exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine. Yeah, those Maestro sessions, you're probably overwhelmed. A lot of information. You gotta break it down and extract those.
Now I'm going to stop it. Now, here's the thing, because this is another trick you guys got to know. It's summarizing a different source. Now, you guys don't know that because you don't know what this is. I wanted to summarize the BDPA Cleveland profile. Now, the reason why it's not doing that, even though as you can see, it's the only one checked, right? But the reason why it's doing that is because I didn't refresh. I had to learn that too. You have to refresh it or you'll drive yourself crazy. You'll keep hitting that generate button. It's going to keep giving you the same thing. And next thing you know, you punch in your computer and then you're at the Apple store trying to get don't go there. So all you have to do is make sure that you refresh it. Watch this. Hold on. We'll do it to delete. I'm going to delete this. So see how easy that was to delete? Refresh it.
Doesn't that refresh the cache?
I'm not sure how they have caching on this because of the way that it works. But that's a good question. I'm just not very sure. And then the shorter, the one, whether it's one source or multiple sources, if it's like one or two sources, it'll be fast. If it's a lot of sources, it's going to be slow. So, that's just what I want to show you as this is a hidden gem right here because as you can see, I'm able to open up different files. I can choose what sources I want. I can add up to 50. I just showed you I can add multiple at one time. I can add YouTube videos right here. You can copy, so if you want to add text in there, you want to copy text and then put it in here, paste it in here. Then once you do that, For instance, I'm gonna do this. Once you do that, you entered it right here. Now it's the source. What I like about this too is I just learned this too as well, because it keeps, when you use one of their key topics, so say you want to highlight a certain thing, you can turn an output into a note. So right now it's getting ready to give me output, save as note. So now when I refresh, that'll still be there. Before, if I said summarize, this is why I said this is what I hated, y'all, because it got on my nerves. Summarize, and then I refresh it, it won't be here. So you'll be thinking it's like ChatGPT or it's like Claude, where you do that, and you're like, where'd my chat go? Where'd my information go? Because you didn't save it to a note. So that's key as well too. Was there any questions on Notebook LM, as far as just anything else in general? Can anybody see themselves using this tool?
That one more than the other ones.
Hey, I wouldn't judge if it was. Because it's free for a limited time. It's free for a limited time.
I do want to share with y'all a use case similar to Maestro's custody battle. So my daughter goes to Aurora schools. They give out Chromebooks. They don't put any guards or parameters around these Chromebooks. And I thought that was super strange because I'm very strict at home with the home computers. And I block websites. Like you can't even go on them. So I got into it with, and not in a bad way, but I asked the principal, where's the parameters and safeguards? I'm looking at her history. There's all kind of wacky stuff on here. They like, oh, the superintendent doesn't believe in putting parameters on Chromebooks because we want the kids to be innovative.
Okay, and you can see by some of us that work for the school district, you see our faces,
Yeah.
right? You see our faces that work for Cleveland, you see our faces right now like, are you crazy?
Yes,
Are you
they are.
insane?
Now, I will say this. Now, if they had said this, like, hey, here's these Chromebooks, but hey, if you need to do this as a parents thing, because we're not trying to be in your business, fine.
Oh,
But
my
let me
goodness.
just say, my daughter was on a website where creeps can be on there and talk to kids and stuff. She thinks it's for kids, but it's a lot of perverse Roblox. So that's what I'm trying to tell them. They were giving me a blow off. I was like, oh, the blow off. I emailed the superintendent. He blew me off. He said, well, Senate Bill 29 says that we can't track students and all this. So what I do? I chat GPT that Senate bill. I found out they were lying. It doesn't say you can't. It says like you can't turn on the camera when they're at home. You can't track if they're on vacation and listen in to their conversations. There's stuff like that. But it does not say you can't guard against non-educational sites.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So exactly. I use ChatGPT to summarize those points. I use ChatGPT to give me a proper email. Because I didn't want to sound like the angry mom. So I needed it to get my point across without sounding like a bee. Right? They weren't expecting that. Oh, that threw them off guard. Because guess what? They talking to a bot and a parent at the same time. They tried to come back with their little more like details. I took their response, uploaded it to the ChatGPT, and asked ChatGPT to give me a good response back to their response. And it was kicking their butt. They had an emergency meeting to implement a security or no guardian.
I started out in things that I wanted to do is go back to being, but I wanted to school or private.
It's a policy. Well, yeah, so there's stuff out there. There's child protection laws and things like that that should be followed. Yeah, he tried to know me off. He didn't know he was arguing with a bot. So that's another use case.
I'm gonna show y'all one more thing real quick. But let's. I want to see if it actually did it real quick. 1 second. Hold on. I'm seeing if it actually got it right this time. Because I think it's repeating the same thing.
Yeah, it seems like it. One thing that jumps out right away is that
Okay.
they emphasize ditching unnecessary plugins.
Okay. So it is doing the same thing. So that's something to definitely take a look at when you are doing the summary. Even when you delete it, for instance, when you delete it, you got to do the hard refresh. And then when you do the summary, make sure that you do check, because even though I had this checked, it still gave a summary for the old source. So it's just something that I'm glad it did that, because that's something that you guys probably want to look at. But that's pretty much it though. It's just knowing that you can use this feature right here, the generate. Give it about 5-10 minutes. I think it takes about 5 or 10 minutes, and then download the audio, and then make sure that after you download the audio, you delete it, and you do a hard refresh, or else it's going to keep creating a summary for your old stuff, and you don't want to keep doing that. Yeah, it generated the summary of my old one of the old ones that got checked. I checked this new one, and I deleted it and tried to do it again, and it still had the same. It sounded like it still had the same information. That's why I'm saying it wasn't doing anything. But the main point is that you guys can see how easy it is to create an audio file. That's the main point. And that's pretty much, I would say, it. And then I'll save the other stuff for another workshop, just because it's going to take some more time to go over it. Say that again? Oh, well, since I didn't get to it, because I think it was gonna cover all this stuff. But here's all my contact information, and then for anybody who needed more support, I do support sessions as well too, so you can just schedule a support session. Thank you everybody. I appreciate y'all.